Star Citizen Alpha 4.8 is perhaps the most important update of the game since Alpha 4.0 and the introduction of server meshing. Clan Imperial Games are implementing a ton of changes, new features, and quality of life updates, but they are also making additional steps that are getting them closer to their final vision for ship management and recovery. So in this video, I am going to go over 10 of these changes and explain how they are going to change our experience. Before we get to our number one, a talk about our giveaway. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members, I am giving away 3 prizes in May: a Dre Golem, link to GLEAM in the description. If you subscribe to the channel and comment to any videos posted this month, you can be in for an Aurora Mark II. Patreon and YouTube members, in addition to be automatically in, can also win an Atlas Geo. If you too want to help the channel out, you will find the link in the description down below. So first, the elephant in the room, ship item recovery. Until now, when you customized a ship, you had to go to the Mobilglass, select different components and parts to upgrade, click save, and your ship would feature the changes you'd made until the next major update. With Alpha 4.8, it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that. You are going to have to go to an ASUP terminal and ensure the loadout of your ship. If you do not do that, your upgraded ship will return to its base configuration when you claim it, whether you paid them, crafted them, or looted them. Also, ship claiming is changing in Alpha 4.8. Gone are the days when you'd have to wait forever for your claimed ship to arrive. That process takes far less time now, but it's also much more expensive, the idea being that the more you upgrade your ship, the more expensive it is to claim it. Next, let's talk about refueling improvements. I made a video on the channel about refueling a couple of months ago, and we came to the conclusion that while needed in systems which feature travel over long distances with a few infrastructures like the Nix system, refueling is indeed in bad shape. We did a few missions with a Starfarer, and it turned out to be potentially more practical than occasionally going back to a station to refill starfighters with quantum fuel. However, it was also clunky and buggy and definitely needed another pass from the developers. This has been the case. The UI has become cleaner and easier to figure out, and there is now an auto-dock function which makes the process of connecting a ship to the refueling boom easier. Coming with these improvements are missions, which is going to allow the Starfarer owners to use their ship on a regular basis for their intended purpose, if this is something that they wish to do. Speaking of new missions, we are having some really interesting new space combat missions in Star Citizen Alpha 4.8, which are quite different from what we have been used to. In these missions, players have to defend an installation against enemy bombers who are trying to take down some fuel depot. I find these missions interesting because the enemy NPCs do not have your death as their objective, but the destruction of specific targets, which allow for some nice sequences if you can get on their tails. It's also a race against the clock if you want to make sure that the hostile forces get destroyed before they complete their objectives. Another kind of mission that are coming to Star Citizen Alpha 4.8 here are tactical strike groups. These missions take place in the Nix system and are a continuation of the Vendul Tech Smuggler storyline. These missions are given by Intersect Defense Solutions and task you with the elimination of a base that combines Vendul and human tech. The turrets of the station are deadly to capital ships, so small fighters must enter its superstructure to destroy its power generator, which then leaves the turrets vulnerable for attacks. But players need to watch out because they're not the only ones who want the elimination of these foes. The Vendul are here too, and they don't care about who are the good guys or the bad guys. Next, let's talk about something we don't often think about: flight suits. In Star Citizen Alpha 4.8, flight suits are going to play a key role as they are going to offer some resistance against G-force effects. These can be quite dramatic, as pilots who try daring maneuvers may eventually black out as their character bodies can't handle the G-force that's applied to them. However, this effect now varies based on the flight suit that the pilot wears. If they wear heavy armor, the G-force effects will be more problematic and blacking out will have more consequences, while if they wear a proper flight suit, blacking out may only take a small instant, allowing the pilot to quickly get back to their senses. If you aren't sure about your G-force resistance, your stats will be displayed on your cockpit's heads-up display when you get into your pilot seat. Another feature that was requested by Star Citizen players for a while is the ability to maintain our ships within ship hangars, like those found on the Idris, the Polaris, the A-90 Jump, or even the Karak. Carriers will have to get some selected materials on board, such as RMC for repairs, fuel, as well as ship ammunition. These can be bought at various locations or even salvaged as far as RMC is concerned, and I think that the addition of this feature in the game is a true revolution, as it's finally going to make carrying snub fighters a viable option. In the past, these snub fighters would often get destroyed because of the damage they'd sustain, but now pilots will be able to refuel and rearm, making their lifespans much longer. After that, we'll talk about weapons that are being added to the verse. The first I would like to mention is a weapon we have been knowing about for quite some time, but is only releasing now, and that is the brand new Ultiflex Nova Crossbow. This is a stealth weapon that fires bolts that can be shot near silently at a target. I find it very effective, and you can kill an enemy in 1 or 2 shots, but you need to be really careful because it takes a long time to reload, and it may also leave you exposed because of its rather short range. The crossbow is not available at game shops, but it can be crafted or looted. A new weapon that is available in game shops is the new plasma grenade. This is the first time in a long time that we are actually getting a new grenade, and I have to say that it makes an impressive effect. The first time I hear it and saw it, I thought it was a new effect on the map in which I was playing an Arena Commander, but then after trying it out, it turned out to be made by the new grenade. It's rather interesting because its goal is not really damage, but more to entice opponents to make mistakes, mostly by revealing themselves, and I find that this new tactical approach here is very interesting. Next on the list is the Transport Refactor. This one is not something you will necessarily going to feel in the game, in fact you won't, and that's precisely the point. However, transport should now be more reliable in game. In the past, it would often happen that elevators would just not arrive or trams would get stuck, especially at Area 18 or Orison. The transport system is meant to take these systems fully compatible with the server meshing tech, which should, in return, give them the reliability we ought to expect from them. Finally, there is one that I personally did not see coming but makes sense because it might ease the workload on the servers here, and I'm talking about hard limits given to players. For example, now, locations are limited to 25 ships and vehicles. You are not going to be able to store more than that at any location. It's obviously not a problem for most people, but it's something that orgs are going to have to keep in mind. Also, you can't take as many missions as you want. Gone are the days when you could accumulate bounty hunting missions, combat missions, and other FPS missions. Now, the limit is 10, which is still more than enough, but it's also nevertheless something I wanted to point out. So in the end, Alpha 4.8 looks like one of those updates that will quietly change how the game is played day to day. Some of these systems are going to get time to get used to, but it will also shape the experience going forward. I'm really looking forward to trying the new grenade against other people in the verse and not just in Arena Commander. It's going to be a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to also using my Polaris as a full-time carrier with the Iraq Club. I think that it's going to be much more viable now, but let me know which changes matter the most to you in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. If you want to support the channel, you'll find the link to the Patreon page in the description as well. A big shout out to Dr. Frobin, Soccer Tarcisius, The Key to Ducker, Shadow Rise, and Zero Crusher. I've been the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys in the next one.